already got the 3 teams that will compete in the event final near the start box. We are less than, oh gosh, coming up on 90 seconds to go until this shortened race, Stevie, and we're hearing it's going to be a shorter race than we've seen in the fleet races.
Yeah, just one race, one lap of this race, so, you know, that start is going to be absolutely crucial. But Dylan did mention it is puffy and gusty out there, so there's the opportunity to find more wind and make those overtakes. And, of course, Hannah Mills' strategist, she's got some work to do there if she wants to make that happen. But I think really it's going to be all about Dylan's timing at the start, and then can Hannah find some space on the racetrack.
Nice. Going past at 102.
Okay, Kiwi's in late.
There's the lineup for the Blackfoils. Peter Burling, Leo Takahashi, of course, Blair Tuke on there, Liv Mackay, Louis Sinclair, and Marcus Hansen, the big grinders up front.
They're going to have to be working hard into this pre-start. There's a lot more space on the course, so a lot more opportunity to make sure that boat's going at top speed all the time.
First timers in the final. How about this lineup, Stevie?
It's a big lineup, and they've got a very, very strong grinding setup there. Matt Gottrell, Stu Dodson, absolute powerhouses. So that's going to be good news for Arno Sarafagis on the wing there. Going to be able to get that Swiss boat going fast. And right now, Rolex Pole Predictor sits on the Swiss. We heard that the Kiwis were late, but they're going to dive inside. We're hearing that it will be 2 laps the racecourse now. So there is going to be plenty to play here. Emirates Great Britain are early back. They're going to struggle. They've got good control, but they're going to struggle to be fast at the gun. I quite like where the Kiwis are at the moment if they're not going to be late. On United, the Great Britain team here turn the boat towards the line. Swiss are coming in fast. New Zealand are going to be slow. It's all about timing now. How's your timing, Seb Snyder, at the bottom of the line? Line goes white, and he's absolutely nailed that on board the Swiss boat. The Kiwis were late, and the British team are going to struggle to get over the top from here. Got to keep clear of the Swiss team, but they are not overlapped. Will Fletcher be brave and spin the boat down in front of the Swiss?
And at mark number 1 in the event final, Dylan Fletcher plays it smart, gives room to the Swiss and Seb Schneider. Peter Burling's not out of this just yet, but this is a shortened race, so we'll see how that all plays out. But it is the Swiss that have the controlling position right now as they line themselves up to gate 2.
Well, they've come up with a great move on board the Swiss boat. Burling first to move away here from the fleet. He's going to have to go right, but he's got space. Switzerland and Emirates Great Britain are slow, and all the boats are talking about wanting a right turn. I reckon the Swiss and the British could get real slow here before the mark. Could be an opportunity for the Kiwis to come in fast around the outside.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like the Swiss, are they working down to a drive to take that right turn?
They are, but they're making a meal of it. They've gone way wide. The Blackfoils are going to be right back in this here. They were very slow for that manoeuvre on Switzerland there. Great Britain split the course, and now, where do you see more wind on this race course, Lisa? We've got a split, and the Blackfoils are back in it.
I actually do like where Emirates Great Britain are going. I think the day has changed from before, and you know, it is really tricky out here. Each little patch of the race course is quite different, so I think it's more about sailing the wind that you're in at that moment. It's going to be hard to cover.
Massive lefty here.
Yeah, and it's going to be about finding the space on the course on the lift attacks, the tack taking you closest to the mark. The Blackfoils seem to have made good advantage of that poor rounding by the Swiss to get inside and lead that tack back across the middle of the course where they'll meet Emirates GBR.
This one's crucial, this cross here, Todd. We heard Hannah Mills say big lefty. That should favour the New Zealand team. That should mean New Zealand and Switzerland are sailing more straight up the course. And at the moment, you can see Emirates Great Britain sailing nearly parallel to our ladder lines, and that's why that lead is hemorrhaging right now. Wind has shifted in the favour of the Blackfoils. Swiss are still in it. Fletcher's going to have to find some magic if he's going to get himself back in this race. The wind speed across the course, well, there's more wind on board New Zealand and Switzerland as well. So not only are they sailing less distance, they're also doing it at higher boat speed.
7 legs in all on this event final, and you can count out the Blackfoils at your own peril. Just when you think Pistol Pete might be out of it, Stevie, he comes up with this, rolls the dice, and absolutely nails it. So now you've got the Blackfoils out in front. Switzerland's dropped back to 2nd, and Emirates GBR goes from 1st to 3rd.
Sort of become the hunter now. It's so shifty. That could not be the worst thing in the world for the British, but that might be me being an optimist, as the Blackfoils haven't made many mistakes today. And look at the speed on the Blackfoils there. Nearly 5 kilometres an hour quicker on board that boat. They're going to set up for a manoeuvre. They will have the right of way, and if they lead out of this next gate, then it's going to take... Oh, they've made a mistake there. They nearly lost the rudders, or they got very wobbly through there. Not a great manoeuvre. That's opened the door for the Swiss to turn inside. Can the Swiss hang on?
They're going to have a tough time working up to that left turn, but if there's any right-hand rotation in that wind, then they might be able to make it.
Hey, we're in this. We've got 1 and in.
they're going to go right turn here at the top here, the British, but so are the Kiwis. That's been the favoured move all day. We got another split, Lisa. We're going to ask you to make the call again. Which way do you like out of this top markers? New Zealand lead at gate 3.
Very nice, guys.
Well, I do like where New Zealand's going right now, but I think long-term, Switzerland's going to be in a stronger position.
And remember, the Swiss looking for their very first win in an event final. They get to the event final, they check that box, now they're looking for the big prize. Will they walk away with the big trophy at the end of the day? Right now they've got to contend with Peter Burling and Emirates GBR and Dylan Fletcher. This race is far from over, like 4 of 7.
Yeah, good manoeuvre there. We see as Emirates Great Britain, well, they are back in it. Hannah Mills is right. They're very much in the race. It looks like a lead change at the moment, but it's only a paper lead change. We'll see when they come back together. I like the wind shift that the New Zealand crew have. They're sailing nearly straight down the course, making great progress towards the next gate. I think the black foils have boosted out here.
Keep working the deep motor.
And they will have right of way when they come back together, but it's whether they can make it down to that bottom gate without any more manoeuvres.
It's pretty good for it at the moment, doesn't it, Hannah? I like where they're getting, and Burling's calling for the deep mode, so he's saying, let's not go as fast, let's try and just make sure we make it to this right turn at the bottom. That was where they made the big gain with the right turn. They also made the big gain by having a bit of space. There was a fight between Switzerland and Emirates Great Britain that brought them back into the race. What's going to happen at the bottom here? Does Swiss try and cement second, or do they roll the dice and hope to take a win by splitting away from the Kiwis? It looks like Snyder's hunting the win.
It feels like a risk though, doesn't it? That mark looks like they've sailed a lot of extra distance, and we saw how much Emirates GBR lost from going this way last time.
Yeah, they did. It'll be interesting to hear what wind shift we get here.
That's a good angle, righty, not
It's like righty on the shift, so the Swiss need to really look to take a manoeuvre fairly soon to be progressing up the ladder line a bit more here. It's a battle between Emirates Great Britain and New Zealand on that side of the course. It's going to be hard for Emirates New Zealand to overtake going the same way, but never rule out Dylan Fletcher and crew. They've been going so fast all weekend.
This is very close. Remember, this is like 5 of 7, so it's to the top of the course. They'll come back down, then it'll be a left-hand turn right in front of the Adrenaline Lounge and the packed crowd that have turned out to see this event final here at the Emirates Great Britain Sail Grand Prix in Portsmouth.
Gain to New Zealand. Gain to New Zealand over Switzerland there, and a big one. And Emirates Great Britain are pretty much on their line, so I'd anticipate, as we can see, slightly slower speed on board New Zealand, but they're just trying to claw their way up to the line of Emirates Great Britain, put themselves directly in front of the British and disturb the wind on Emirates Great Britain.
There you see the Rolex chasing time. It is Emirates GBR trying to track down the black foils and Pete Burling. The Kiwis have an 8-second lead right now, but we've seen that evaporate so quickly on these courses. This is going to come down to just a few maneuvers, Hannah Diamond. Can you stick it when you most need it?
Yeah, and you can just see from the body language on the board, the black foils, they're so calm all the time, especially when they're in front. I think they're going to be hard to catch.
Effectively, if the Kiwis make no manoeuvring mistakes right now, easier said than done, then it's their race. They've got it in the bag. But of course, mistakes can happen quite easily out here on the course, and they've got an interesting decision to make. It looks to me like the Kiwis is setting up for a right turn at the top again here, so an extra manoeuvre coming potentially, and they've got to be careful of the British. British have right of way. Burling needs to stick this. Here we go, big moment. Comfy ahead for me there, clear cross. That was well judged, but my lord, that was brave. Swiss are off the foils, Todd. They've got a problem. So this is a straight one-on-one match race here, but massive gain on the right turn. A lot less distance sailed for the black foils here. We're hearing the Swiss are out, so it's a straight fight. Can Emirates Great Britain give the home fans something to cheer?
Problems on board the Swiss boat, so they are done. They will finish in 3rd overall, but the battle is on now. Who will take home the top prize here in Portsmouth? It is the Kiwis on the left side of your screen, Emirates GBR on the right. There are the numbers.
Yeah, there's more wind on board the New Zealand boat, and that's pretty good news for the black foils, eh, Hannah?
It is, but you can see that trail in the water they've just left. They've just had a big nosedive, managed to recover it okay, but I think there's probably, they're going to be hard to catch, but it's definitely not over till it's over.
So it's going to come down to the final maneuver when they get to the bottom of the course. It'll be a left-hand turn and then a short sprint to the finish line. For Emirates GBR, this would be their first win since Sydney, going back to event number 3. But for the Kiwis, this would be their first win since the first event of season 5. That was in Dubai way back when.
this is two of the Titans, isn't it? So we don't really expect many mistakes here. It still is a bumpy country road that they've got to get it home on, but this is the last manoeuvre. Black foils stick this, and it's in the bag.
Boom. And just like that, Pete Burling shows the rest of the fleet who's in charge. This will certainly shake up the overall standings after 7 events. But the winners of the Emirates Great Britain Sail Grand Prix in Portsmouth, it will be the Kiwis, the Black Foils. It is your Emirates winning moment.
Boom, indeed, Todd. That was clinical, and they looked like they'd made a bit of a mistake at the start as the fireworks go off in the background. It's all happening on Portsmouth seafront there. What a shot that is. Great result for Emirates Great Britain. But yeah, amazing race, just clinical from the Black Foils.
So the Kiwis get it done and they spoil the party for Emirates GBR. You go back to when this race was contested, Stevie, back in, I think it was Plymouth in season 3. And again, it was the Kiwis that won that event. So they obviously know these waters or this southern part of the UK. I know it's a big stretch of land, but wow, they seem to do well here.
Yeah, they're very comfortable here. You know, Pete and Blair's where they won their first Olympic medal was at the London 2012 Olympics. So consistently seem to quite enjoy coming back to the UK, do a good job. But, you know, ultimately they showed a few signs of weakness. They made a mistake in the start there. They were late, but they just stay so composed, like Hannah says, when under pressure. And here we go, star of the show, star of many shows, Pete Burling, Liv Mackay coming in the background there, and looks like walking out at Wembley Stadium out the tunnel they're coming through there. Leo Takahashi, big day for Leo. You know, there has been a lot of fingers pointed at him since Andy Bononi left, a lot of pressure put on the shoulders, and yeah, they won that first event, but they've perhaps not quite delivered since. So I know that Kiwi team's tight. They always tend to fight for each other. Blair and Pete, great leaders of that team, but I think Leo, he deserves a real pat on the back. Big performance by him, delivered when he had to, because that was not easy conditions today.
Love that the fans are sticking around for this one. So the Kiwis have made their way to the trophy presentation. The trophy will be delivered by Sir Tim Clark, the president of Emirates Airlines.
The trophy for the Emirates Great Britain Sail Grand Prix Portsmouth will now be presented by Sir Tim Clark, president of Emirates Airline.
Shake of the hands and the deliver of the trophy, and this is a great moment for the Kiwis. Just to give you an idea of the parity in SailGP, this is only their 2nd win of the season. I'm talking about the Black Foils and the Kiwis, and yet they are on top of the leaderboard.
Give the biggest cheer for your winners. It is the New Zealand SailGP team.
SailGP's tight, isn't it? You know, it's huge. It's a massive event now. You can see that by the number of people on the shore. We've got more fireworks going off here in Portsmouth for the champagne moment. There's no doubt coming up ahead of us, and it's a big moment for the New Zealand team. They want to make sure they get the win because they want to be getting into that event final.
Did you see that? Peter Burling directed Sir Tim Clark off the stage because in just about a few moments there's going to be a mess of bubbly spraying around here. He doesn't want him to get covered, or Pete might not get an upgrade next time he's on Emirates.
there. We're surprised we didn't see a hacker from him at the end of that one. That was a big moment for the Kiwis, and what a magic moment for them in front of the fans.
And now the bubbly moment as the Kiwis can really celebrate. Amazing how they look like they've done this before.
Yeah, it was a fairly seriously experienced bottle openers going on there, wasn't it?
Once again, it is New Zealand and the Black Foils that get the win. They take the top spot at the Emirates Great Britain Sail Grand Prix Portsmouth, and now they turn their attention to Germany SailGP Sassnitz, August 16th and 17th.